Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom Marshall. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It means a great deal. Haven't been able to make any videos recently because life, the universe and everything taken over. But I have managed to watch something. And that is Alien Earth. And I have some thoughts. Let's get into it. 46 years after Ridley Scott's Alien redefined sci-fi horror, Alien Earth crash lands onto Disney Plus with a bold new vision. Bold, not necessarily good. Created by Noah Hawley, who you may know from shows like Fargo and Legion, this isn't just a prequel, it's a genre-bending, blood-soaked reimagining that asks, what happens when childhood innocence meets extraterrestrial terror? Set in 2120, 2 years before Ripley's infamous encounter, Alien Earth follows the doomed vessel Maginot, which crash lands on Earth carrying a cargo of nightmare fuel, including, yes, a xenomorph. One. Just one. But this isn't just another bug hunt. Earth is now ruled by mega corporations, and one of them, Prodigy, is run by Boy Cavalier, a barefoot trillionaire with twisted Peter Pan complex. He is transferring dying children's minds to synthetic adult bodies, creating hybrids like Wendy, Sydney Chandler's character, who is mentally still a child but physically indestructible in an adult's body. It's Alien meets Neverland. Sydney Chandler is Wendy, equal parts vulnerable and terrifying. Her scenes with Alex Lawther, who plays the medic, her brother, bring emotional depth to the story, drenched with dread. Samuel Belkin's Boy Cavalier is a standout, a man-child CEO who feels a bit like Elon Musk crossed with Captain Hook. They really go to town in the most worst possible way with the whole Peter Pan metaphor. And I will explain my thoughts about that in a minute. Timothy Olyphant as the blonde-brown synth Kish, cold, calculating, and oddly manic. The performances are great. The actors, the choices that they made for those, the casting actually was pretty decent from that first episode, to the point where the first 10 minutes very much recreates the feel, the tone, the atmosphere, even down to the look of the first film, down to the white walls, the breakfast scene, and the conversations having amongst the crew, to the point where one of the crew is a splitting image of somebody from the first film. It is an uncanny resemblance, and whether or not they did that on purpose, I do not know, but it definitely started off very strong, and then it falls apart. I feel that the reason why people really enjoyed the first two Alien films was the fear of the unknown, the unknowable, the otherworldly. You couldn't be far removed from Earth. You couldn't be far removed from anything human, apart from like the characters, but everything just seemed like it says in the title, Alien. It has it right there in the title, Alien. That's why people really enjoyed those. One of the reasons why people enjoyed those first two films was because it was so alien and out there, literally. And again, yes, that fear of the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen. Don't understand why they went this route and decided to have everything set in Earth. And like I said earlier, they really go to town on the metaphor, the Peter Pan metaphor, which I thought was actually the meaning behind it was to stay forever young, to not have the constraints of adult and real life burdening you. Just being young, being a child, staying childlike for the rest of your life. It seems like they kind of went backwards and put the dying children into adult bodies. And over time, they learn to become adults and get better and better. And then throughout the first episode, they actually asked to go on a mission to help out. And Wendy wants to go and help out her brother. And that is, something that is what an adult would do. It's something very human emotion. It's very bizarre how the direction they went. I'm not entirely sure. And again, the reason why we liked the first two films was the fact that initially we didn't know that the androids Ash and Bishop were actually androids. We got slight hints here and there that there was something a little bit off about these characters, but it wasn't until they revealed, towards the end of the film, especially with Ash, where they have a fight with Ripley, that you see a trail of blood coming from the side of his head of white blood, which was very ominous, and it was so well done. And then again with Bishop, when he does the knife trick with the Marines, you see that he actually cuts his hand and white blood peers out of the hand. And it was tiny little things like that that made us think, oh, hang on. And then that's one of the great mystiques about the film, is the fact that we didn't know that these were androids. And then straight off the bat here, they were like, yes, you're androids, you are not real, you are synthetic, we're transferring your human mind to, I understand that they've got to figure out like how to get to Ash and Bishop, and I understand that's one of the steps you have to go through. I'm not like a robotic expert or anything like that, but it just destroys that whole element of the unknown, the alien. There's too much familiarity in this show. The only parts in the first couple of films that were what you consider sort of human, Earth-like, was through the characters and through the interactions that they had with each other, through the breakfast tables scenes, from having cigarettes, from the way they had their coffee, the way they ate breakfast, all these little nuances that they had. So yes, I never actually ended up watching the second episode because I just felt that it was just getting a little bit too ridiculous. And, it kind of shits all over those first two films, because surely someone in that crew would have known what happened in Earth, because it was like a couple years before Ripley meeting the alien for the first time. So someone would have known. Yeah, it kind of sort of skews the storyline a little bit, and it's just like, yes. Many things wrong with this series. I mean, I'm glad it's out. I'm glad that they swung for it and went a different direction. It's brave. But like we know, if it's a big franchise and it makes them money, they're going to do it. So, it's just one of those things. And it just really bugs me, no pun intended, because in recent years, we had like Jurassic World Rebirth come out, and even though it was a terrible film, it still made all the money in the world. And they keep doing this with all these older franchises that were from the 80s, the early 90s, twisting them around, swapping it, it's really infuriating, and just not coming up with anything new or coming up with better ideas. So yeah, I mean, check it out for yourselves. What do I know? It's probably going to be a big success for Disney Plus and Hulu. So because it will have that original fan base and it will attract new people in. So who knows? But yeah, a lot of things wrong with this one. It is the least alien. There we go. And on that note, get away from her, you bitch!